PC Fortnite hosted by PaydayGG qualifier tournament. My name is the Saved One on your play-by-play casting. Joining me is Chad Lantis
Hello.
on your color casting commentary. We do see this next team, Click Here and Almighty, landing inside of Pleasant. Before, they landed towards the north end inside of the soccer stadium, but now we see them inside of Pleasant Park with Tin and Dad. All four of these players just landing inside of Pleasant, wanting to deny kills from the other.
Yeah, this is actually a location that you'll often see 1 to 2 other squads landing at, so they're going to try to find weaponry, but if you're going to find a weaponry early game, a shotgun is definitely what you like to get with. Again, though, Click Here and Almighty Sean, like we saw before, 2 Xbox players versus 2 PC players. We've been seeing back and forth when those duos happen, finding a guy under in the basement. See if you can get a shot right now.
Has the shotgun available, quickly taking the shot, does get a lot of his HP chopped out. Doesn't want to go under there just yet. A couple of more shots coming from that west end side. Not wanting any of that is Click Here, so he gets out of that situation alive. But now he's playing that defensive, maybe looking for that one-shot potential on the other side of the wall. 10 getting 1 kill. Almighty with a couple of more. 73 damage so far, right to the head of that enemy, but does get knocked down really quickly. Almighty as well getting knocked down very early on. Oh, that's unfortunate. We gotta get someone else. None.
It was so fast.
We're not allowing that. No.
It happened so fast. They were knocked down. They beat the PC players before, losing out this time. They're 1-1 against the PC players out there. And as we saw, Tiny Jelly did get a kill as well. And based on tiebreaker rules, even if they didn't, they lasted longer. So they were going to win that round regardless.
Okay, so Citizen, no. That's a big no. Here, we'll go to the BRB screen while we look for another one. Let's check out Gel. How's Gel doing?
Jello's is out of it for this game. But OG Messy Cool and Josh CZ are about to go into another game. We just casted them, but we can cast them again.
Yeah, we can do that.
Go into another game.
Yep. All right. Let's go full screen. Oh, nice. Something that's actually very interesting to note is that sometimes when you're in the battle bus, one of two things will happen if you're doing duo squads, or if you do place down a marker at least. Sometimes it's out of habit that you ping the area that you want to go to, so you're in a sense telling the enemy where you want to go. But then also sometimes you kind of bait the enemy.
Yeah.
If you just place down your marker at a certain location, they're just like, oh, they're going there, let's just go there.
The mind games to try to throw off other players and make them have to go somewhere that you don't want to go yourself, thinking it's a disadvantaged location. He did mark Haunted Hills, which is typically, if you're going to go for the win, is a great place to land because there's a lot of loot there. At most, you'd see like 1 squad land there, and you can roam from there to Pleasant. Because of how this is a score-based game, you want more kills. It's off to the side. Sometimes because it's so far off in the corner, you could get really disadvantaged positioning for the zone, for the storm, because it could go far bottom right, and then you spend the whole game just running from the zone and not getting kills. So generally landing somewhere kind of close to the middle is a better idea, and that's kind of what they're choosing, landing at this Connex's location, which a lot of people don't land at other squads. There is a good amount of loot, though, because it's so varied in verticality, high lows. There's a lot of ins and outs with all the cargo crates. It's really going to take a long time to actually properly loot this location. So we'll see if they do so and take it a little bit slower, kind of like they did the last game where they had a nice skull by OG Messy Cool. That even if they don't win the round, that should count as a point, man. But
yeah, it should.
But World Cup, come on. But yeah, they can choose to either just get quick weapons and then rotate instantly over to like Retail Row or Tomato Town or Dusty Divot, or they might take it a little bit safer, a little bit slower, fully loot out this location, and then as they're really geared up, go towards that middle to late game kind of environment.
And he picks up the C4s initially here as well, getting himself a green revolver. Not the most optimal amount of weapons that you want here in the early game. Usually, you at least want some type of either an AR, maybe an SMG, and then you definitely want a shotgun in the early game. But so far, not exactly getting that. But we do see we do see T as well as Miller sitting in a pretty nice spot. I'm not too sure exactly where they are on the map, but Miller's sitting on half of a shield, which is nice for him. But Josh as well, just sitting on full shield, which is really good for this early game here. But they did end up starting containers, which is a pretty good area, I think, because of the rotational power that they have here. They can either go into Tomato or they can go to Dusty.
Right, like I was mentioning before, it's generally a good idea to land kind of close to the middle of the map. So they'll probably make a decision based on largely the zone, which is going to cover everything near them. So that's great. So they have plenty of options to determine where they want to go. They could go right towards retail, which is a very popular location. They can find some fights there. Dusty Divot, they typically will find probably one squad there at this point, which they can then rotate to retail or salty. A lot of locations and options they can choose here. Really, they don't really have a wrong answer in this kind of situation. You kind of have to just go with your gut, try and just kind of feel out what would be the best call. You can make a decision also based on where the enemy duo is, because you're competing for duo kills, right? Your duo versus their duo kill count. So you can kind of determine where they're going and where they're going to end up being. They're probably going to end up at Salty Springs retail area, Dusty Divot. So Josh and OG decide, as they're also marking it, which again, maybe mind games, maybe unintentional, who knows? But as they're marking it, though, they seem to be rotating over towards the trailer park and retail row location, which they should find based on statistical probabilities. Of course, it's all just chance in this kind of environment of BR is who you're going to run into. And the answer for skill is just how you deal with it. Of course, they're going to go ahead and take the chance, see if they can find more players at retail. Typically, they will. Just going to go ahead and loot up along the way, because there's a lot of good campsite and truck looting locations along the way. So getting some upgrades, getting that C4, which is so good, and just getting some more materials for building up as they're making the progression towards what is likely going to be a fight as soon as they make it into retail row.
Right. And like you were mentioning, they picked up the revolver, and I think the main reason why he did end up keeping this in his inventory is because, from what I've seen, OG loves to snipe. He loves to stay on the back end, doesn't really want to charge the enemy, but he does have the 2 shotguns if needed. But his preference, he loves to stay in a little box and just snipe the enemies from there, and he does it very successfully. Some situations more than not, he does end up coming on top. But a beautiful chest. Oh my goodness. Picking up a big pot, trading that out, but then also getting a golden scar. So already you can see that there's really almost nobody inside of this area. I spoke a little bit too soon. Josh did take out one player with a pistol, fully eliminating him. So that does mean that this enemy player doesn't have a team. But another kind of interesting point is these shopping carts. They did get enabled in the latest patch. There was a little bit of glitches with them, but now they're finally back. In what situation, though, would you use a shopping cart?
Generally, if I use a shopping cart, if I'm on lower ground, even ground, generally like the average middle ground for the map, really the only time I'd use in that situation, like retail row, is if I'm down on kills, I'm competing for kills, and I need to get around the map faster. Shopping carts are a little bit faster for transportation, but they do leave you very exposed, of course. If I'm on top of a mountain with a shopping cart, then you just roll right down the mountain, take it really down very fast, which is very rapid transportation. But generally, because you're so exposed with those, they're very noticeable as well. You can't really do the jumping maneuvering to kind of dodge enemy snipes. You're very predictable on your progression and where you're going. It's a little risky, but you do move faster with them. So if you're down on kills, you really need to close that gap against the enemy team here, then maybe in that time, that situation, it would be ideal. And with that player they killed, though, we couldn't find him at first. We thought that maybe nobody's here. It's just a bush all along. They used the bush consumable. But luckily, Josh had good eyes, better than us, it seemed, to take out that player. OG, though, right now, no kind of, Josh got sniped, taken down. OG's got to figure out where they are while he's trying to get a res for Josh right here.
Yeah, a little bit more of a safer option would be to place that roof on top of the structure, but there is an enemy slowly building up here. Doesn't want to use the shotgun to destroy the structure because it did get nerfed in that last patch. So he's not really able to shoot that down, which is very unfortunate, but does now want to slowly start to build up and regain that high ground. Does have full health, full shield. So he is allowed to do that for the time being. Now looking down, 87, just a totally annihilation to that enemy player. Now it's starting that res. Beautiful stuff coming out of OG.
Beautiful. And he's going to have the 2 shield pots for his teammate Josh there, which is great. He'll be able to get him at least healthy enough for a fight. I don't know if they have any meds though. And as you saw there, he got the 1 kill. I was wondering what happened with the rest of the squad. Based on the scoreboard and the map rotation on the minimap, the enemy duo, Twista and Miller Time, rolled into retail at that right time and kind of, maybe, depending on who, we don't know the future, but maybe they actually saved OG and Josh there, because OG was disadvantaged. He was outnumbered in that situation. He did get that 1 knock there, and then you have to figure out what to do with the other players. But Twista and Miller Time, they got point to their team, while also maybe, again, who knows, saving the enemy opposition. But OG, Josh, sitting here, seemed like Josh had shields of his own, so OG gets to keep his shields himself. And I was actually going to comment on how he didn't really have a lot of good recovery options beforehand. He has been able to find them. He dropped the revolver because you actually didn't really need that when you have a gold scar. The revolver, like you said before, he has a general playstyle preference of passivity, which, as we saw right there, he can deal with aggression if needed in that last fight. But generally, his preferred playstyle is a little bit more passive than the average player, which is definitely a preference. And with that, he likes the snipers. But the Magnum, even if it being blue, it's not going to do an incredible amount of damage at long range, and you'd have to leave yourself exposed while you're waiting for that first shot accuracy. It's just not going to do the job very well, or as well as what would be like that hunting rifle that probably Josh is going to pick up instead of OG. At least this is his teammate getting it, not the enemy duo. And the gold scar is going to do just as well damage, if not better, at those longer ranges than that blue Magnum. So you just want to trade it out. Replace it with the shield pots here. Still has a C4, double shotgun loadout. They're sitting pretty good, recovered nicely from that fight. Do believe they're actually down by points a little bit, so they're gonna have to make a little bit of a recovery, a little bit more aggression. Maybe use that shopping cart like we were talking about before to cover the distance a little bit faster.
And I do like what they're doing here, though. They're staying inside of retail. It's one of the main rotational positions here with this type of circle, because the bigger side is towards that anarchy, the north type of area. So most people are going to be rotating down from that north into the south. And more likely, people are going to be rotating into retail or on the outside of it. So we do have that option to use the shopping cart, because I feel like the shopping cart is most useful in these plain type of areas, because there's a lot of hills. You can maybe run up just a little bit, and then you can start to drift down the hill, and you really gain a lot of speed if you use it to its max potential. But so far, they just want to use these hop rocks. It's very effective. They get you from point A to point B in the matter of seconds. So they're just going to be rotating into this little type of area where a lot of players do love to go. There's 2 houses, which does mean a whole lot of loot for these players that they do decide to stay there, but they just want a little bit more. Maybe they want to catch a rotating team coming out of Salty, or maybe someone coming out of kind of like that tilted area, but we're just going to have to see.
Yeah, as Miller Time goes down, this actually might be a great opportunity and eliminated for Josh and OG. So they're essentially like a 2v1. We're going to rotate towards that area to see if they are able to. Oh, and Twista goes down as well. Checking the scoreboard, it's 2-4.
2-4, yeah.
So Josh and OG just need to get 2 more kills, because of how tiebreakers work for this tournament. Whoever gets the last kill for the tiebreaker wins. So they just need 2 more kills while they're also alive, of course, which is the other tiebreaker rule set. So they'll be alive longer in the tie, and 2 kills. This might be it. Getting some shots off in the distance.
They have to go for this if they do want to pull off the victory. 25 so far, doing a whole lot of damage to that enemy to the southwest. We'll see if they can get the shots off that they definitely do need. But Josh, so far, using his grenade launches over by that structure just to maybe deal some fall damage to these opponents. Does get 1 person for the time being. Beautiful stuff there, but has to start to build more offensively. They want to go on this rush. So we currently do see OG going towards this area. Does pull up the scar, doing a couple of damage to these structures. Tries to do a little bit more now, looking down, building defensively to start this one off. But Josh now on that offensive end does look down, does get 1 more kill. Beautiful stuff. They are on the inside of the storm. Does see 1 more player taking out the shotgun, doing 4, 1, and 8 damage. You're going to need a scar if you do want to do some long range damage. But now getting that advantage on the inside of the storm on top of a hill. Beautiful stuff there. But now a couple of more shots going towards this player, towards the south, towards the northwest, my bad, and fully eliminating that player as well. But 1 more player on the inside of the storm, 70 damage right to the back, and doing exactly what they need to do in order to come back in this game.
Great job by those players, playing with the zone, doing what I like to call gatekeeping, which is keeping her back to the safe zone while shooting people who have to run in from the storm, leaving them at a disadvantage. really doing a great job of hitting those shots as they need to do. And like we said earlier, they only needed 2 kills. They got definitely 2 kills there. So they're going to go ahead and win this round. Moving on further in this tournament ladder, there you see it, the scoreboard right there, 6-4. Even if the tiebreaker ruling wasn't a thing, they still outscored the enemy players. So great job by OG Messy Cool, Josh Crew, or Josh CZU for gatekeeping properly, winning that fight against the other squad, which also had another couple players lingering around that other full squad, and really closing out this game.
And with 6 people remaining, so there is a possibility that there could be 2 squads of 2, or it could be a full squad, which is not the most ideal situation for them to be in, but we have seen them before take out full teams of 4, so hopefully they can do that once again here to finish off the whole entire round. But with this circle, there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of cover, a couple of mountains that they really need to take over. It's such a unique area, and that builds for amazing, amazing fights.
Yeah, it causes a lot of amazing fights. There's also a lot of cover, so sometimes they have a problem with trying to find where the other players are because they're playing a little passively, as they think they might have actually found them in this boathouse here.
Yeah, using the C4 just to explode a couple of players. Does take out player number 1 here, using all of the C4 to his advantage, just going full crazy with it. But now looking down with his pump shotgun, maybe looking towards his other structure, using the C4 once again, not doing a whole lot of damage, but now pulling out the tack, doing a whole lot of damage. 2 players right in front of him, knocking down 2 players is his duo partner, and finally picking up that last kill for the victory royale.
There it is. OG just going full aggro right there while his teammate Josh is on the high ground getting a lot of shots himself. So Josh getting a high ground, playing defensive, kind of being the bait. OG pushing in, trying to reel in that fishing rod to catch those fish out on the ground there, right? And then as he was trying to do so, the fish turned to him. He became the bait. And then Josh, very good duo synergy, really good situational awareness, then turned around and started attacking instead of playing it defensively, clean a bunch of kills, and then it was just a 2v1 cleanup at the end there. Great job by OG and Josh, not only winning this round of the tournament we were on the bracket, but also the morale boost, getting that game victory as well right after the fact, and it's great to see by these players.
Yep, so that was game number 4 of this qualifier tournament. I believe we have one more. I'm pretty sure that was round number 4. But we're just going to have to see. We'll keep you guys tuned. But once again, if you guys want to join these tournaments, come on down. PaydayGG. If you guys are on Xbox and you don't know, and you want a little bit of a competitive edge, come on over. We got that. If you guys want the PS4, we have that as well. But if you guys are on PC, you're looking for a little bit more competitiveness in the Fortnite community, come on over, payday.gg. If you also know how to stream, then we could potentially be casting you in the next tournament. But we have Xbox on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, we have PS4. And on Saturdays, we have PC. But guys, do not go anywhere. Round number 5, it will be coming up in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.